And so is the challenger. We'll leave it to John MacDonald to give us the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the main event, and there's standing room only here in the home of the Terriers, Huddersfield Town Sports Centre. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the official challenger from Zimbabwe, Hare Musiwa.
This mysterious man from the Zimbabwean capital of Hare could, quite simply, be anything. Hare Musiwa was young, he's knocked many of his opponents out, and he looked very big at last night's weigh-in, needing 2 visits to the scales to make 10-7. Could he be a light middleweight who's had to boil down? Could he just hit too hard for Hare, whose problem over the years as he's sat in between the light welter and welterweight divisions? The thing, as is often the case with African fighters, Jim, we just don't know. I wouldn't bet on this one.
That's a fact, we don't know, but what we do know is he hasn't boxed at the same level that Hare has boxed at and been successful at. So obviously the experience leans towards Hare, but Hare's the type of fighter who just sharpens all the tools. I don't think he gets into any fight with a preconceived idea what's going to happen. So he'll just want to have a good look at this man, as he's already said, have a good look, then set down about the job.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring now the champion from Roberttown, the Lord of the Manor, James Hare.
What a crowd here for their new cult hero. And Prince Nassim Hamid calls this talented boxer one of the finest we've had in years. James Hare, who's dealt with promotional problems, injury woes and shifts in camps, but his raw ability has shone through, and with the addition of his Commonwealth belt and a growing following with a deafening noise here, one of the nicest, most honest and earnest guys in the sport, and he should have added confidence to go with his attractive throwback style.
Well, a throwback style, that exactly sums him up. He's one of the old school, he's learning the job properly from bottom all the way up to top. He takes nothing for granted, he's not flash, he's not cheeky, he doesn't say what he's going to do in advance. He's respectful towards the opponents, just a great guy for the game, a credit to boxing, and hopefully we'll see him at his best tonight.
People here absolutely love him, but how's he going to deal with this Hare Musiwa, 4 years younger, the man from Zimbabwe, and a huge height advantage too. And the problem at the weigh-in, Hare nicely inside the 10 stone 7 limit and giving away 3 inches in reach, James Hare, but he's very used to doing that. Musiwa has been boxing for 3 years, Hare 6. Been a long winding road, but more fights, more rounds boxed for the champion, although he might have to watch Musiwa early. Hare knows that the Zimbabwean carries power.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the main event, the fight of the night. John Michael Shepherd proudly presents 12 rounds of boxing for the Commonwealth Welterweight Championships. For on behalf of Ringside Boxing Promotions, in association with Prince Promotions and Matchroom Sport. All sponsored here by PokerMillion.com for a great game of poker. And joining us live and exclusive, here on Sky Sports, you've joined us for the very best ringside seat in the business. All the officials have been appointed by the Commonwealth Council. Supervisor in charge of the action is His Honour Judge Alan Simpson. Area representative is Mr. Bert Smith. Timekeeper at the bell from Manchester, Mr. Paul Webster. And referee in charge of the action from Wellingborough is Mr. John Keane. They are the officials, and here are the contestants. Firstly, the challenger fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the white trunks trimmed with blue and weighed in at 10 stone, 6 pounds, 4 ounces. In a 15-fight record, he has 13 wins, 10 inside the scheduled distance, and 2 losses. Coming to the ring as the official challenger from beautiful Zimbabwe, where he is known as the Porcupine Hare Mosiwa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the champion. He's fighting out of the blue corner wearing the grey and purple trunks. He weighed in at 10 stone, 6 pounds, 10 ounces. An undefeated 23-fight record, 22 wins, 10 inside the scheduled distance, just 1 draw. He is the reigning and defending Commonwealth welterweight champion, making his first defense here in the beautiful city of Huddersfield. Please welcome from Roberttown, the Lord of Honor, James Hare. Let's get the action underway then. 12 rounds of boxing for the Commonwealth welterweight championship.
You both received instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect. Shake hands, come out boxing.
First defence of the Commonwealth 10 stone 7 belt for James Hare, who came of age in this very ring in one of our most exciting nights of 2002 as he prized apart the useful Australian Julian Holland to take the title. He knew about Holland, he knows nothing about this Hare Mosiwa except his bare record of 13 wins in 15 fights. Mosiwa claims many amateur fights. Lights out power and says he will be the new champion tonight. But it's easy to talk. He's had to now cope with the Hare boxing brain, which is a good one.
Yeah, he's very adaptable here, so you always have confidence putting him in against an unknown fighter. But first impressions, sharp looking Mosiwa, stepping back quickly from Hare's attacks. So for a tall fellow, looks fairly athletic.
Good left hand from Hare, early, shakes Mosiwa. He says there's added strength, more power as he's settled into the weight. 10 wins inside the distance in his 22 successful fights, Hare. But that right hand that so crisply put Julian Holland down here will have given him added confidence and inspiration. Big ticket seller now here too, Hare. And it's all going right for the 26-year-old, finally. A wild right uppercut from Mosiwa, who's standing his ground in the middle of the ring. Hare just happy to have a look, as he said he would, and that's sensible, having not seen a tape.
Yeah, Mosiwa looks like a fellow who knows how to use his advantages. He wants this at long range. He's tried a couple of maybe over-adventurous uppercuts, but the fact that he has the confidence in the first round to try those shots means that he doesn't lack confidence, obviously. He's using the range well. Just always ready to spring back from Hare's attacks. Hare's going to have trouble getting close to this fellow. So this could be a tricky one.
Trying to get out the jab and use his reach advantage, Mosiwa, in those long white and blue trunks. Hare in his familiar silver grey and purple. So difficult when you know nothing about your opponent, and it's such an important fight for the Commonwealth belt. Over 100 rounds of sparring for this one. James Hare, as fit as ever, as our own Barry McGuigan found out in the week when they had to go running.
The danger for Hare would be if he started reaching with punches. He's going to have to find ways to get his feet up close to this fellow before he lets them go. Good
right hand on the bell there, and an intriguing opener for the Roberttown fighter. There's the record. 1 draw against Mark Winters, 4 national titles as a schoolboy, world-class amateur.
Good thinker, good of a thinker, okay? What you got? You got hand speed on it. No way you can do it.
Quickest pro win. To go longer than that tonight, and he's never gone beyond 10 rounds. Neither's Masiwa, 8 in the world by IBF champion Michele Piccirilli from Italy, and girlfriend Amanda, who's here at ringside tonight. Very, very emotional here for James, and apparently he's moving out of the great manor house in Roberttown, hence the nickname the Lord of the Manor, into a terraced house in Huddersfield. The two of them. Good luck to them. Second round here. Commonwealth welterweight title. At 5'8", the tricky switch hitter, originally groomed in the Winkerbank gym of Brendan Ingle, now with Chris Aston in Huddersfield. James Hare in fight number 24, up against Hare Masiwa, who's 4 years younger, in his 16th outing. He's lost a couple of times, but has already shown he may be able to box a bit.
Yeah, this looks like an awkward one. First impressions for Hare. Difficulty finding the range here. He doesn't like taking silly chances, but sooner or later I think he's going to have to take some chances to get close to this fellow. Masiwa was very quick, and as I said in the first round, he seems to know how to use his physical advantages.
Good work on the inside from James Hare, who has to fiddle his way through the big height and reach advantages that Masiwa brings to the ring. The IBO champion who's with us at ringside tonight, Jawed Khalik, is a tall man for a welterweight like this one. So Hare is going to have to fight the bigger guys along the way. This could be an opponent. Just nods appreciation there with the right hand from Masiwa.
Well, it's still early days yet, but I don't think single punches are the answer to this fellow. I think he's going to have to put them out in 2s and 3s. Might miss with the first couple, but the third one will land. But trading single jabs with this fellow, especially in the early stages when he's fresh and quick, I wouldn't advise.
Clever counter-punching needed from Hare, who has all those sort of tricks in the book. Was Naseem Hammad's main sparring partner for a couple of years. And of course, body sparred with Johnny Nelson, the cruiserweight, Clifton Mitchell, a heavyweight in the gym, so he's been in with all sorts, James Hare. Very intelligent fighter, and won't get involved until he knows his man is hurt.
Well, title fights are over 12 rounds, so you got to map out a 12-round campaign when you're in with fellas like this. Heroics in the early stages, not advisable. Just take your time, find out, try a few things out, find out what's going to work. But I think what he's going to have to start doing is maybe show a little feint, try and draw the leads from this fellow. Force this fellow into making some mistakes. He's too cool, he's too settled. You've got to break him out of that rhythm. That's nice.
Good work with the uppercuts. I'll stay out of the way of that dangerous right that Masiwa is waiting to unload. But it's quick and effective from Hare.
But at some point he's going to make some mistakes. He leaves himself wide open. I think you can tag him and I think you can hurt him when he does, okay? Pure hand speed will take care of it, okay? Right, I'm right, no problem. Slowly but no special. Okay. Just going to keep drawing that jab, looking for them openings, can't he? Eventually he's going to get frustrated, he's going to come in and tag him and play for you. Straight for it. It's going to take another couple of rounds, yeah?
A very warm welcome back to a packed Huddersfield Sports Centre, the corner of James Hare. A couple of years they've had together, Chris Aston with him, and he's sharpened him up, hasn't he?
Yep, it's a tricky night's work, but Hare managed to find the target a few times in the second round. Nothing much happened in the first, but that was a decent round for Hare. There's still a lot of solving to do.
Here's a third round. Remember, it's the first defence of the Commonwealth belt that he won on April the 27th in this very ring, the night of his life. But a different proposition with Julian Holland, who'd come off a win against the world-class Shannon Taylor and was shorter and stockier. This tall, rangy Masiwa from Zimbabwe.
Well, I think that there are two ways of going about it. I'd like to see him feinting, drawing the leads first, let this fellow make some mistakes, or if he wants to go on the offensive, 2 and 3 punches, never throw a single punch at this fellow. So he's good on the counter. He's good when he can draw the leads from the Siwa and clip him with counters. No great power in the shots, but that doesn't matter. If he can get a couple of rounds in the bank, that would be good news.
Never been a huge puncher, James Hare. Nassim Hamid was telling me that if he could punch, he would be a world star, this man Hare. Well, he may just make it up to European world level without a big dig, because he times his punches very well. And they're often the ones that have the success. You see his head being snapped back by the short jabs of Hare. Good left hand too. He's wonderful to watch at times, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got lovely technique, very well balanced. But once or twice he's just reaching with the punches against this fellow. He can't afford to do that. At this stage of the fight, I think counters would be a good idea to work on. Force this fellow, draw the leads from him and then clip him with counters. It's working. Then maybe, as he warms to his task, start going on the offensive. But this fellow is awkward, he's clever, he's sharp, so this is not going to be an easy night's work for Hare.
As he didn't have a very easy night with Abdel Hakim Mehidi in Leeds in a 8-round workout after the Julian Holland fight. Mehidi really was a light middleweight, and Hare had 1 or 2 problems that night, criticised from some quarters about being hit too much. Just looked a little flat. His promoter Tommy Gilmore says he's better when he's fighting at the welterweight 10-7 limit and not higher.
His counters are good, and he's finding the target when he throws doubles. But 1-2, 1-2-3. So maybe just beginning to find 1 or 2 answers now.
Yes, he's not finding Masiwa very difficult to miss. Switches southpaw and back, James Hare. Light on his feet, skill with his hands, but just got to watch the power of Masiwa.
Coming on Sunday morning, live coverage of the Australian Rugby League Grand Final. Sydney Roosters against the New Zealand Warriors. It's live Sunday morning, 9:30 on Sky Sports 2. James Hare would surely be interested in that as a big rugby league fan, but he has other problems to deal with right now.
Yes, just starting to fathom out the gangly style of Hare Masiwa, the 22-year-old from Harare, who has a whole list of interesting names on his record. Few we've heard of. Fighters like Boxer King and Gift Chalembo, and he's turned southpaw, which is also something we didn't expect. Switch hitting like Hare. Whatever next.
Yeah, well, that's a surprise. I don't think he'll carry it on, just maybe trying to confuse them at the start of the round.
Back to the more comfortable orthodox position with his legs very wide apart to balance his height.
So I think that's the reason Hare can catch him with 2 and 3 punches at a time, because his legs are so wide. It takes that split second longer to get on the move. So just move in with 2 and 3 punches at a time.
What's surprising me is that Hare is beating Masiwa to the jab, despite the fact that he hasn't got nearly the reach that the Zimbabwean has. That's speed.
Yeah, and it's timing too, the fact that he's drawing the lead. letting it fall short, then springing in with the counter. And it's like a chess match at the moment. The fight itself hasn't really caught fire, but I think we're going to see a few rounds of this, but it's good classy boxing.
Technical and of a good quality from Hare. Not being silly, having total respect for his opponent. Normally comes on towards the middle rounds, Hare, when he's worked out what's in front of him and is fully confident to up the pace. Did that in a British title eliminator with John Humphrey, who he stopped in 7 rounds in what was, before the Holland fight, his best win. And a good right hand! Oh, that was sweet, and the crowd are on their feet, but there's no knockdown, says John Keane, the referee. He did slip, but
I think their legs got a little bit tangled there. I mean, a punch did land, but it looked to me, maybe we'll see it on replay, but it looked to me that the legs got a little bit tangled. It didn't look like a bona fide knockdown, but Hare is fired up and trying to take advantage of it nevertheless.
Yeah, good left from James Hare. He thinks it could have been legitimate because of the way that Masiwa fell. Well, it was a tangle of legs or whatever. Masiwa touched the canvas, and James Hare has a different look on his face now. He's on the offensive. Well, the crowd's erupted, and Hare Masiwa is a bit vacant looking as he sits back on his stool there with Stalin Mau Mau and brother Godfrey Masiwa in the corner. Well, it'll be interesting to see that back on the replays. Did a punch land? Was it anywhere near?
I got the impression a punch landed, but the feet got together. But on replay, probably, maybe the punch did cause the knockdown. The feet made contact. It's a difficult one, but the punch definitely landed.
That's a knockdown, Jim.
Yep. Second time looking at it, I probably made the same mistake as the referee first time out. It actually looked like a trip as it happened, but definitely a punch landed.
Well, the referee didn't count it as a knockdown, but I thought James Hare knew that it was. The way that he took the last 20-30 seconds on the attack. 5th round, first breakthrough for the Roberttown Rocket, or the Lord of the Manor, as he's now called, the amiable man from about 7 miles away from here in Huddersfield.
I think also raising the tempo would suit Hare. I think this fella likes to keep things nice and cool, nice and calm. I don't think he's happy with the long limbs. I don't think he's happy with the hot pace. So I think Hare wants to raise the tempo, drop it, raise it again. Not such a steady pace.
What more from Masiwa? What can he offer us? Is there anything left that we haven't seen? If not, I think James Hare can stop this Zimbabwean challenger. Right to the body, just makes Hare backtrack. He's always thinking, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see him stop blocking the punches with his glove and just thinking, will I throw a counter? No, I won't bother. You can actually see the thoughts going through his mind.
Waited on the sidelines when he was with Brendan Ingle, but let's not take away what the Ingles did for him, because his style is basically a switch hitting one of that camp. And he just didn't get the breakthroughs that he needed. Had a hernia operation which kept him out of the ring. Oh, but look at this, starting to work over Masiwa. I think he feels that the added power in the last few months can really help him.
Stop boxing!
Stop.
Masiwa's gum shields come out. Masiwa's gum shields come out, so the stopping the action. But that was 2 beautiful left hooks, one of which he removed the gum shield. So finding his range now here and finding a bit more rhythm.
more tentative now. Masiwa realizes he's in with a man of a higher class than he's dealt with in Zimbabwe. Never been out of Africa, Masiwa. And he's up against one of our most talented welterweights. Remember, our other two leading ones are ringside with us tonight, Jawed Khalik and Neil Sinclair. Wonder if they're as impressed with Hare as we are. So they're nodding over at ringside. They are really enjoying this Hare work. Don't know how they'll deal with him in the ring, but we'll find out exactly what they're thinking in a little bit. Big right from Masiwa, and Hare just lets it glance off the glove and back of the head, and boxing excellently. Crowd are enjoying it, and let's see what Neil Sinclair and Jawed Khalik are thinking there with Ed Robinson.
Well, it looks a punch-perfect display so far, Neil.
It does indeed. You can't really fault anything he's doing. He just has too much of everything for this guy. You know, I have him winning everything already.
And Jawed, his boxing's obviously there for James Hare, but he's also showing some power.
That's right. I think the confidence is there now. He's starting to plant his feet, and he's believing in his punch power, and he's punching a lot harder.
Neil, is there anything Masiwa should be doing different to try and win this fight now?
Well, you know, he's going to have to go out and have a go, isn't he? He's just going to get shut out on points. I also would like to see James step it up, open up more, and he could stop this guy, I'm sure.
Jawed, do you think it's going to be a stoppage?
I think it looks like James could easily stop this guy. He just needs to pick it up a little bit. The guy looks tired and hurt, and James is just doing what he wants.
Thanks a lot, guys.
I agree with both of them, especially what Neil Sinclair said. He'd like to see him just up the pace now and force the stoppage around these middle rounds. I wonder if they want to fight him now.
Well, we haven't seen anything different from Masiwa from the first round until now. So I think Hare must have a pretty good idea what he has in front of him. So I like to see the tempo up, then slow up again, just at the steady pace is maybe keeping Masiwa competitive. So raise the pace, confuse him a little bit. Masiwa himself is trying to get hold of the pace at the moment. He's trying to take the initiative.
Masiwa has been 10 rounds, like Hare. And 2 defeats on the record, 1 on points and 1 when he was retired against Hare Wonder, who's one of the better fighters over in Zimbabwe. That sweet right from Hare on the counter. From the old school, a thoughtful fighter, an intelligent man outside the ring, who just wants to learn, get better, and take things steadily, step by step, for James Hare. Interesting to see how far he can go. Gum shield out again from the right hand. He's so accurate, Hare, with his punches, and Masiwa now looking lost, confused, a bit dazed. He hasn't really been badly shaken at all by Hare, but doesn't seem to have the answer, even with those long arms and big hooks. Again walked into a right hand as he tried to throw his own. That's what happened when Hare fought Julian Holland, and that's what makes him so dangerous.
I'm wondering maybe Masiwa doesn't have the best chin in the business, because every time Hare lands with anything like a solid shot, you can see it, the look of shock on his face. Every solid punch seems to hurt him, so I'm wondering maybe just a couple on the trot would maybe get this job done.
Throwing mostly headshots, not really working the body yet, Hare. Maybe just needs to bring the hands down of Masiwa, because he does look vulnerable around the chin. Again, big right from Hare and a cheeky left as he glances away. Well, you can see why they come to support James Hare. Not only does he conduct himself so impressively out of the ring, but he puts on these sort of displays inside it and is a joy for the British game.
Well, this is the first sign that Masiwa might be beginning to crumble a little bit. Solid punches landing now. Hare really stepping in with the punches now. With the confidence to throw 3 and 4 at a time. Excellent round for Hare.